are studies that kids before, there's some different ones, but before basically age 6 or so,
Yeah.
don't see race in the same way and don't have racial bias in the same way that adults do. There are
Right.
studies. And then you look a little later and they have it.
Yeah.
Same thing with sexism, believing that boys are better at X, Y, and Z than girls. Younger don't have it, look a little older, they do have it. So when you realize it, you have to say, well, what happened in the middle?
Where's the inflection point?
Right, the inflection point. And the inflection point isn't just, well, that sexist part of the brain hadn't developed yet.
Yeah.
You know, that's not it. It's something society did something.
my natural sort of sleuthing mechanism here would be that the culture is educating or perpetuating in a way that at a certain inflection point,
Correct.
people go from being blank canvases to this is who we are and this is what I am.
Correct. So, for instance, there's a study that was done of some elementary school kids who they were put in a summer camp setting, and they were told to wear blue shirts and yellow shirts. And in the neutral group, they just wore the blue shirts and the yellow shirts, and they went about their days and activities. And at the end of the study, a few weeks, they didn't see any difference when they even self-ranked themselves. They didn't see any difference between the yellow shirts and the blue shirts. Another study, same concept, blue shirts, yellow shirts. But in the classrooms where they were doing their summer camp activities, there were posters, you know, like those motivational posters of winning a race or, you know, winning school election or whatever.
So
and all the
cat
winners,
hanging from a branch, like a hang in there kind of.
Yes, but with kids.
Okay,
so no kids hanging from branches. But it was like, these were like motivational posters showing kids that they were told were from past years in the program in the successful roles. And all the kids in the successful roles were wearing blue shirts. So when the yellow shirt kids and the blue shirt kids, that was the only intervention, saw around them that all the successful kids were blue shirt kids, guess what?
Yep.
By the end of the program, they all had a bias for blue shirt kids and against the yellow shirt kids. And they would apply that general bias to specific. They would say, I think that kid is less smart than that kid. That kid is less talented than that kid because of what they had been taught just by seeing bias in ththose images of success. It starts to make you realize how that's just one way culture teaches us, you know, 244 years of only male, 45 only male presidents in the history of this country, right? Majority of men in leadership positions in general, right? Majority of white people in leadership positions. You get to understand how culture tells us who's worthy, who's not, who's better, who's not. And we all take those messages in.